President Buhari defends current price of fuel in Independence Day speech. Youths protest on Independence Day in Benin City. ASU falls Ngige's claim on reason for strike. And on business, African Development Bank partners with federal government, Microsoft, to create 9 million jobs.
And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi rekindle rivalry as Barcelona face Juventus in UEFA Champions League.
Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Oporum. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has defended the current price of fuel in the country, saying that a responsible government must face realities. This was contained in his Independence Day speech on Thursday, which was broadcast nationwide. President Buhari said while petroleum prices are to be adjusted, the government must take tough decisions. He compared the oil price in Nigeria to those of neighboring countries, arguing that it makes no sense for oil to be cheaper in Nigeria than it is in other oil-producing countries.
In the circumstances, a responsible government must face realities and take tough decisions. Petroleum prices in Nigeria are to be adjusted. We sell now at 161 naira per liter. A comparison with our neighbors will illustrate the point. Chad, which is an oil-producing country, charges 362 naira per liter. B. Niger, also an oil-producing country, sells 1 liter at 346 naira. C. Ghana, another oil-producing country, petroleum pump price is 326 naira per liter. Further afield, Egypt charges 211 naira per liter. Saudi Arabia charges 168 naira per liter. It makes no sense for oil to be cheaper in Nigeria than in Saudi Arabia. Fellow Nigerians, to achieve the great country we desire, we need to solidify our strength, increase our commitment, and encourage ourselves to do that which is right and proper, even when no one is watching.
President Buhari also called for a sincere process of national healing as the nation marks the 60th anniversary of its independence. The healing, the president said, is necessary as the nation has consistently focused on contrived fault lines that have been allowed to fester unnecessarily. The president argued that to achieve a desired great country, the nation needs to solidify its strength, adding that the citizens must increase their commitment and encourage each other to do that which is right and proper, even when no one is watching. Governor Godwin Obaseki has again reiterated that his victory in the last governorship election is a call to duty and sacrifice, and that he won't rub it on the faces of his opponents. Governor Obaseki was speaking at a special Independence Day event organized by the youth wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Edo State chapter, to mark the 60th independence anniversary on Thursday. He said with freedom now achieved, the task of rebuilding and reuniting the state and the nation has begun, and it's a task that everyone must partake in.
Our victory is not one that we should just adulate ourselves. Now that we have our victory, now that we are free at last, what are we going to do with this freedom? Nigeria is 60. Edo State is 30. As far as I'm concerned, this victory is a call for service and sacrifice. I cannot achieve what you expect me to without you, all of us, coming together and collaborating together closely to rebuild the Edo of our dream and therefore build the Nigeria of our hopes. On our parts, we have started the process of bringing people together. That's why I want to thank the chairman of the All Progressive Congress, who is in our midst today.
Governor Obaseki noted that the process of his re-election was a litmus test for another stage in the journey of Nigeria's democracy, which began decades ago. He thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for heeding to calls for free and fair elections after several attempts, and the last few elections failed to deliver desired expectations of Nigerians.
We had a civil war. We fought a war, over 2 million people died. But we recovered. We attempted democracy in 1983, it failed. And over the last 21 years, this republic has subsisted. But the last couple of elections began to threaten our democracy again. And we were approaching a situation where Nigerians began to lose hope, saying, if our votes don't count, then what is the purpose of democracy? And it was becoming the tradition. So we thank God Almighty that He gave our president the foresight and the insight to know that our democracy was heading to the rocks.
There were goodwill messages from the State Can Chairman, Reverend Oyenude Kure, and the Chief Imam of Benin, Alhaji Abdul Fattah Enabulele, among others. Other dignitaries include the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Francis Okiye, and the PDP governorship candidate in Ondo State, Ejitayo Jegede. Elsewhere, some activists drawn from various civil society groups on Thursday demonstrated in parts of Benin City in protest against what they called bad governance in Nigeria. The protesters, numbering over 300, demonstrated at the Oba Overawan Square, otherwise known as King Square, displaying a number of placards calling on the Nigerian government to end poverty, corruption, unemployment, and anti-people policies. Among the protesters were the chairman for the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, Edo State, Barrister Ibrahim Oviawi.
We say that today's engagement is to remind them that 60 years down the drain, that commitment which they have made, the labor of our heroes past, have been eroded. We say no.
My name is Comrade Kenneth Wires. We were actually supposed, as citizens of this great country, Nigeria, we were supposed to come out in jubilation and a celebration of Nigeria being 60. But it is regrettably unfortunate that there is nothing to celebrate. I want to appeal to the federal government led by President Muhammadu Buhari to please hearken to the voice of the downtrodden and the common man.
Comrade Kelly Omokaro and others asked the Nigerian government to pass the protracted Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law.
We want to advocate for the National Assembly to look at the issue of the bill before our president. There's a bill pending before our president. That bill did a lot of justice to all the electoral crisis in Nigeria. And I also believe if that bill is passed, that is part of our demand. If that bill is passed into law, it will give us a more free and fair election. What we saw in the State last time was good, but we can improve on it.
The Nigerian government should make budgets that will benefit the poor. They should share the budget in a way that the masses will benefit at a larger size.
Elsewhere, some Ijaw youths under the auspices of Ijaw Liberation Movement have called on relevant authorities to checkmate the nefarious activities of hoodlums in the riverine communities of Edo and Ondo states. While addressing journalists in Benin City, the youths, who are also appointees of governments in both Edo and Delta states, alleged that some hoodlums under the guise of militancy are planning to engage in kidnapping and other criminal activities to discredit the government. Spokesperson for the group, Honorable Ezekiel Daniel, who is also the Senior Special Assistant on Security Matters to the Delta State Governor, asked both the Edo State and the federal governments to urgently swing into action by deploying tactical team of security operatives to fish out the hoodlums. He also alleged that the same hoodlums were the mastermind of the crisis that erupted in Ofunama, Jamage, and Ajakurama communities, which led to the killing of a widow, Yado Udugbo, during the recently held governorship election in Edo State.
So when they came, first the community started shooting, the military men in the gunboat now took them on. When these hoodlums saw that their firepower could not withstand that of Nigerian state, they retreated out of hunger that they could not achieve their aim. They were shooting sporadically when they were going back. That was how their bullet hit this woman and she was murdered in cold blood. We are calling on the Inspector General of Police to set up a team to unravel the cold-blooded murder and bring the killers to book.
KUFM News don't continue right after this break. Stay with us, please.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. In other news, the Lagos zone of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has faulted the claims of Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngigi that the union was on strike due to its anger against the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPIS, and that lecturers were being paid in full despite the strike. The union also said it had not been informed of a meeting scheduled for next week, where Ngigi said ASU would be allowed to demonstrate its purpose-built University Transparency and Accountability Solution UTAS software as a replacement for the IPIS. In a statement, the Lagos Zonal Coordinator, Professor Olushiji Showande, said the union had requested to present how UTAS works but got no response from the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Showande also said the main reason for the current strike was a non-implementation of the 2009 ASU FGN agreement and non-payment of earned allowances, among others. On salaries, Showande said many lecturers were being owed between 3 and 6 months' salaries, while 5 months' worth of checkoff deducted from members' salaries was yet to be remitted to the union. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says the agency introduced e-registration to simplify the registration exercise for its customers. NAFDAC's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said this in an interview in Abuja. Adeyeye said the agency would embrace digitization in carrying out its activities in order to reduce frequent human interaction. She said the reforms in the agency also involved the training of staff to meet the demands of various customers. The NAFDAC DG also added that the agency had decentralized power to zonal offices to allow for direct interaction with customers and promote the ease of doing business initiative. The Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, has lifted the suspension on Spectrum Trading Guidelines, or STG 2018, pending the conclusion of ongoing review. NCC Director, Public Affairs, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, in a statement on Thursday in Abuja, said these followed deliberations by the NCC board at its special meeting. Adinde said the board resolved that the suspension be lifted and relevant stakeholders continue to operate the STG while the revised STG was being finalized in consultation with the industry. He said NCC had on May 27th announced the suspension of STG 2018 for the Nigerian telecommunications industry and informed all licensed telecoms operators, prospective investors, industry stakeholders, and the general public of the decision. Adinde said the board took the decision in response to telecommunications global dynamics, as well as the efforts to optimally utilize and maximize the benefits of spectrum as a scarce resource. Coming up in a moment on our business news, African Development Bank partners with federal government, Microsoft, to create 9 million jobs. Stay with us, please.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecasts, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
The African Development Bank, AFDB, has launched an e-learning digital platform to create 9 million jobs in Africa's digital economy in the next 10 years. According to a statement from the bank's website, the federal government and Microsoft launched the Digital Nigeria e-learning platform to provide marketable digital skills for the country's youth. The platform will leverage the AFDB's Coding for Employment initiative and build linkages between the public and the private sectors. Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Isa Pantami, said the platform will support the development of a large pool of digitally literate and skilled citizens. Senior Director for the bank's Nigeria Country Department, Ibrima Fall, said the new normal had accelerated the demand for digital services and fourth industrial revolution technologies across all sectors. Middle East and Africa Director for Microsoft Philanthropies, Garda Khalifa, said Microsoft was committed to creating inclusive economic opportunities in light of the economic crisis created by COVID-19. And finally, on business, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, has signed a memorandum of understanding with CDC Group, the United Kingdom's publicly owned impact investor, to facilitate long-term inclusive growth and encourage private capital to scale up their participation in high-impact sectors of the Nigerian economy. The agreement includes information sharing on prospective projects in Nigeria and Africa at large, with the ambition to co-invest in sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, infrastructure, and climate resilience. The partnership will foster collaboration in areas of knowledge sharing with an explicit objective of creating jobs and generating impact in Nigeria and across Africa. The partnership, according to CDC, represents its broader ambition to accelerate capital mobilization and accelerate the flow of capital into high-impact sectors in Nigeria. And that's it on business. Over now on to sports, where Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi renew their rivalry as Barcelona face Juventus in UEFA Champions League. Egosa Agbeka has more in our sports bulletin this morning.
Good morning. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are set to face each other after Juventus and Barcelona were drawn in Group G of the UEFA Champions League, while defending champions Bayern Munich will face Atletico Madrid in Group A. The draw, which also saw Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Inter Milan paired in Group B, took place without club officials present because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Manchester United will meet Paris Saint-Germain, RB Leipzig and Istanbul Basaksehir in the Champions League group stage this season. Premier League champions Liverpool will have to negotiate the groups containing Ajax, Atalanta and Danish side Midtjylland. Chelsea will play Europa League winners Sevilla, Krasnodar and debutants Rennes. Manchester City are in Group D with Porto, Olympiacos and Olympique Marseille. This year's group stage begins on Tuesday, 20th October with a final on Saturday, 29th May 2021 at the Atatürk Stadium in Istanbul. And finally, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says the side took a step forward by beating Liverpool 5-4 on penalties to reach the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup last night. After a goalless 90 minutes at Anfield, Gunners goalkeeper Ben Leno saved 2 penalties in the shootout from Divock Origi and Harry Wilson before Joe Willock scored the winning spot kick. Arsenal lost 3-1 in the Premier League at the rest 4 days ago, and Arteta was pleased with the side's response. They will now host Manchester City in the last 8, with all ties to be played in the week commencing 21st December. In other matches, Brentford defeated Fulham 3-0 to reach the quarterfinals, while Stoke City knocked out Aston Villa 1-0 to advance. And that's sports news on KUFM's News Dawn. My name is Egusa Agbekan. Back to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Egosa, for those sports stories. And of course, with those stories, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. In this bulletin, we brought you the following stories. President Buhari I beg your pardon. In this bulletin, we brought you the following stories. President Buhari defends current price of fuel in Independence Day speech. Youths protested on Independence Day in Benin City, and also have faulted Ngige's claim on their reason for striking. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on radiogarden.com. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Blessing Asekome. I am Charles Upper Room saying thanks for listening and Good morning.
KUFM.